العلم أشراف مطلوب وطالبه لله أكرام من يمشي على قدم. العلم نور مبين يستضيء به أهل السعادات والجهال في الظلم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما. مجانين like that. Don't pay attention to that. شوف, the wajib is everyone got the homework on them. طيب, got the homework on you, صح? 5 brothers and 5 sisters, okay? The first exercise, who's gonna start the first one? The brothers? The very first one. Muhammad. Are you ready, yeah? Muhammad, tafadhal. What's the first one?
Husband, father, mom, daughter.
Zawj. Zawj. Ab. Bint. طيب, what did you write? What did you write?
Zawj gets a quarter.
He gets a quarter, why?
There's a child, bint.
He gets a quarter because there's a child. طيب, ab.
Ignore.
Ignore. Ignore bint. Half. لماذا? Why?
There's no ma'asab and no...
There's no ma'asib and there's no musharik. There's no brother of hers and there's no sister of hers. There's no brother of hers and there's no sister of hers. طيب, Hassan. Anyone who's done it like that, give yourself a tick. Obviously you're going to hand it in, inshallah. طيب. That's number 1 out the way. خلاص, can I rub it out? طيب, sisters, who's going to go for the second one? Someone, put your hand up. No one said so, I have to pick. Go on. أخت شقيقة. أخت لأب. بنت الابن. عم. طيب, what did you give the أخت? I. What did you give أخت لأب? I. What did you give this one? Nisf. And what did you give the عم? I. Excellent. Anyone who done it like this, give yourself a tick. And inshallah, obviously you're going to hand it in as I said. خلاص? 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to rub it out. Muhammad, تفضل. The third one. بنت. زوجة. جدة. عم. طيب, what did you give the بنت? نصف half. Why?
عدم وجود فرع.
واقف and
وعدم وجود معصب أو
معصب. Excellent. There's no brother of hers and there's no sister of hers. طيب, زوجة, what did you give the زوجة? ثمن. Why?
وجود فرع.
نعم, because of the bint. So she gets a ثمن or an eighth because of the mother, because of the daughter. جدة. I. عم. I. Everyone do it like that? طيب, أحسنتم. Give yourself a tick, inshallah. Can I rub it out? Sisters, who's going to go for this third one? Or the fourth one. Okay, did you have a question? About the last one. Okay, there. We'll hold on to the question till else, inshallah. تفضل. أخت لأب زوج That's it, yeah? What did you give أخت لأب? Ignore. Okay. زوج? Oh, good, excellent. And Ignore. طيب. Why did you ignore the أخت لأب? Because of the زوج. طيب, let's go back to the conditions of the أخت. What were her conditions? How many conditions first? For her to get half? 5. طيب. See if these conditions are met. So there's no father here, there's no Hassan, there's no child here. Is there an ukht? لا. Is there a ukht لأب, another one of her full sisters? لا. طيب.
No brother.
And no brother, صحيح. So why have we ignored her? Huh? She's meant to get, I think, nisf, isn't it? Nisf, نعم. She's meant to get nisf. Because all of the conditions are met. Jazakallah khair, excellent. طيب. Got a question on that?
No, I was going to say that.
Did you have a question on this?
Yeah.
Go on.
I wrote this,
You wrote nisf, nisf, طيب.
no, but I had a question. Last week, I think at the end of the lesson, you mentioned that the mother always inherits, but if they get half and half, that's the whole.
طيب, جيد. So the sister's saying, last week, طيب, you've all acknowledged now that she gets half, is that? She gets half, right? Now she gets what? He gets half. The sister saying last week, I mentioned that the is always going to inherit, is that? طيب. At the moment, we're still in the building stage. This doesn't mean this is the final structure and this is the everyone who's there now or who we've given something to is going to inherit. It doesn't mean that. Because the mother is going to get, soon, as we're going to see today, she's going to get a third. But Lakin, why did I say I? Because, or why did the sister say I? Because we haven't studied it yet. We haven't studied the have we? Because she's only get a sudus, she only gets a sudus and a thuluth, and we're taking those today. Very quickly. We've taken 3 so far, sir. The 4th one, brothers. Hakeem, go on. Is it the 5th one?
Yeah.
The 5th one. أخت شقيقة. زوجة. طيب, what does the أخت شقيقة get? Half. Why?
There's no mu'assib,
There's no mu'assib, no brother of hers,
musharib,
no musharika, no sister of hers.
al-mufariq.
There's Adam al-Farq. There's no father here. Father of the deceased. Excellent.
No asl, asl.
Huh?
So,
نعم. So there's no فرع. صحيح, أحسنت. There's no child of the deceased and there's no father. طيب, الأم.
ignore now.
طيب, ignore. And the زوجة.
Ruba.
Why?
Because al-mufariq wa
Adam al-Farq. There's no child of the deceased. طيب. Everyone writes it like that? Yeah. أحسنت. طيب. The 6th one, sir. تفضل. بنت ابن أب الأم. طيب, بنت I ابن I أب I I. Everyone get like that?
Yeah.
طيب, أحسنتم. طيب, 7th one. عمر. زوجة جدة أخت لأب عم زوجة ربع. Why? There's no children. جدة I نصف. Why? All conditions are met. عم I. Everyone get that? أحسنتم. Excellent. طيب, 7th, 8th one from the sisters. تفضل. 2 wives, زوجات.
and grandmother
جدة, huh? Excellent. 2 of them, نفس الشيء. طيب, زوجات, what did you give them? Their share of ruba, both of them. Why? There's no child, sir. There's no farq, right? Excellent. Jadda? Ignore. Excellent. Everyone get it like that? طيب. How many? 8. 9th one. We're going to do the 9th one. موضوع. تفضل.
بنت.
بنت?
شقيقة.
أخت شقيقة
بنت الابن.
بنت الابن. That's it. Huh? طيب what did you give the بنت؟
نصف.
نصف. Excellent. What did you give أخت شقيقة؟
ignore.
Ignore.
بنت الابن ignore.
بنت ابن ignore. Excellent. Why بنت نصف?
The other is not sit and مشارك.
She's alone. She doesn't have a brother or a sister. أخت شقيقة, the conditions are not met. She inherits something here, but we're going to see that in today's class. Bint al-Ibn, she doesn't get half. She gets something else, which we're going to see in today's class. Everyone say the same thing? No. طيب. I believe the last one was long, صح? طيب. Who's going to go from sisters? تفضل. بنت جدة بنت الابن ها أخت شقيقة زوج أخت لأب زاوية. طيب بنت نصف. جدة ابنه. بنت الابن ابنه. أخت شقيقة ابنه. زوج ها You sure? ها طيب why? Because of the bint. طيب ignore صح؟ طيب excellent. Everyone get it like that? صح؟ No worries. Inshallah khair. See here, just as a side note, I don't know if I mentioned it last week, right? You gave him the Zawj a ruba quarter because of the bint being there, right? What if this bint wasn't here? This direct bint. What would you have given her? And not the this one. Bint al-Ibn, the daughter of the son. Half, why?
At the moment. Also,
No. So if that first bint was to go, she becomes the daughter now, or the child. So she would get half. So the Zawj, it doesn't mean the direct child, the bint, it could be bint al-Ibn as well, just a descendant of the disease. طيب خلاص? Please put your names on it, put your name on it and pass it forward. طيب. We're going to start from we've still got this thuluth, as-sudus, leave the sudus for now. Oh, the sudus, sudus, and there's thuluthan, huh? Right. We've got these three to do today. A third, 1/6, and 2/3. Right. Let's start with a third. Right. Let's start with a third. What were the three questions that we need to answer? What? Why? Wasn't there one before? Who inherits? What do they inherit? And why? Don't forget the www. Right. A third. There's two people that inherit a third. Two people that inherit a third. The first is al-um, the mother. The mother inherits a third. فإن كان له ولد وورثه أبواه فلأمه الثلث. طيب. So now we've got the first W out the way. What was the second? What? Which is a third. The Y, there's two conditions for her to inherit a third. How many conditions are on there? Three. طيب. The first is what? There's no child. There's no child. طيب. There's no child of the person that's passed away. There's no child of the person that's passed away. If there was a child, what is the relationship between the mother here and the child? Grandmother, excellent. But you never look at the relationship between the people that are still alive. With fara'id, always look at the relationship between the deceased and the person that is on here. So when you see this means that this is the mother of the person that's passed away. طيب. So the first condition is there can't be a child. If there is a child, she gets something else. If there is a child, she gets something else. Like in the first condition is what? There can't be a child. The second condition is what? عدم جمع من الإخوة. There can't be a group of brothers. There can't be a group of brothers, group of sisters, or group of brothers and sisters. And there are three types, whether it's full brothers and sisters, half paternal or half maternal. There can't be a group of them. There can't be a group of them. Is that understood? There can't be a group of them. A group of who? Of the deceased. There can't be brothers or sisters of the deceased. A group. There can't be brothers and sisters of the deceased. مثلا, the deceased is called Zayd. طيب? His mother is called Hind. طيب? He can't have other brothers and sisters, siblings. Zayd, another one called Zayd, another one called Hind. He can't have that. There can't be a group of them. If there is a group of them, if there's a group of them, then it is no longer what? She no longer inherits what? A third. What is the first condition for a mother to inherit a third? No children of the deceased. What is the second condition? There's no group, two or more from brothers or sisters. The third condition, that it is not what? One of the two imams. This one, Adam al-Umariyatain, don't pay attention to it now, inshallah. We're going to see it, or don't think about it now. We're going to see it in the book, inshallah. The meaning behind it. In summary, it's Ab, and Zawj. Or Ab, Zawja. It's one of these two. That's why it's Adam al-Umariyatain. It can't be one of these two. And the reason is, we're going to see it later on, inshallah. She doesn't get a third, she gets something else, which is called Thuluth al-Baqi. I can leave that out for now. Okay? During the exercises, I'm not going to mention one that necessitates the third condition. I just want you to understand these two conditions for now. What are these two conditions? Adam Farq Warith, there's no child. And? Ab and Akh Shaqiq. A deceased person passes away and he leaves behind an an Ab and a Shaqiqa. What does the get here? I. طيب. What does the get? I. Okay. Why did you say I?
Because you said, even though you say ignore it, you say if there's an ab, and she gets something else.
No. I said if there's an ab and a zawj in the mas'ala.
Together? Yes. Oh, no.
The last one I just wiped out, I said I weren't going to mention any exercises to do with that third condition. Here she gets a third. And why does she get a third? There's no child, khalas, and there's no group. There's only one here, sak. Khalas, there's only one here. Is that understood? طيب.
So is it a group of brothers only, or is it a group
of brothers, group of sisters, mixed?
Okay. Two or more?
Yeah, two or more. Jadda. طيب. What does the get here? Come on. A thuluth.
Yeah.
Why?
There's no children and there's no group of brothers.
There's no children and no group of brothers. Simple. What does the mother get here? Who's going to answer? Your sister, son. Ignore. Why have we ignored it? There's an ibn and a bint. Any other reason? There's two brothers. There's two brothers. Khalas. Two people inherit with a third. We've studied the first one. The first one is who? The mother. She inherits a third. With what conditions? There's no child of the deceased and no brothers and sisters. Khalas. Can we move on? Right. The second is أخ لأم. أخ لأم. صح? And they can inherit with how many conditions? 3 conditions. The very first condition is there can't be any children. The first condition is there can't be any children. Children of who? Deceased. No children of the deceased. If there are any children of the deceased, then they do not get a third. That condition is واضح, صح? Clear. The second condition is what? What do they mean by Adam al-Asl al-Warid? The person who's an Asl, who inherits? Huh? The father or the grandfather? There can't be the father or the grandfather. Like, Far' al-Warith includes Ibn and a bint. Is that understood, yeah? Ibn and a bint. Right. The Adam al-Far' al-Warith, the father and the grandfather. Ab and Jad. Is that understood? Ab and Jad. There can't be the father of the deceased or his grandfather. Or his grandfather. Right. If these two are there, automatically don't look at the maternal half brothers or half sisters. Is that understood? So طبعا that is أخ or أخت عفوا. أخ or أخت. أخ or أخت. Whether it's a brother, a half brother from the mother's side or a half sister from the mother's side. A half brother from the sister's side or half from the mother's side or half brother from the mother's side. Right. How many conditions have we studied so far? 2 conditions. There can't be a descendant and there can't be a Far' al-Warith. Right. The third condition is what?
A group of them.
There has to be a group. أو أن يكونوا 2 فأكثر. أن يكونوا 2 فأكثر. There have to be 2 or more.
So there used to be 2 or more brothers or sisters from the mother's side.
I haven't even reached that yet. 1 second. Let me finish. أن يكونوا 2 فأكثر. There has to be 2 of them or more. 2 or more. Okay? مثلا, a mother passes away. She leaves behind she leaves behind 2 children from a previous marriage. And she leaves behind 2 children, 1, 2, from a previous marriage. Is that understood? It's a mother. 2 children here, sir. 1 and 2. Zayd and Ahmed. Ahmed passing away, طبعا. Leave him out of the picture. Zayd, we've got Zayd now. What is the relationship between Zayd and these 2 children? Half brother. From what side? From the mother's side. Zayd passes away. He leaves behind what? Two half brothers. He leaves behind what? Two half brothers from the mother's side. Two half brothers from the mother's side. They inherit how much here? A third. Why do they inherit a third? Because he didn't leave behind any children. There's no ibn here or bint, there's no child. And there is no father here. There is no father here. طيب. Is that understood? طيب, a person passes away, he leaves behind أخ لأم, he leaves behind one of his half brothers, he leaves an أخت شقيقة behind, and an uncle and a grandmother, a jadda. What do they get, or what does this person get here?
Nothing. Also ignore.
Ignore?
It's only half.
طيب, why ignore?
Because
It's not
there's
two of
only
them.
one half brother.
Huh?
Yes, two or more.
There's only what?
There's only one.
Two. There's only one of them. طيب, excellent. أخت لشقيقة?
Ignore.
نصف.
Ignore.
How much? نصف. لماذا?
عدم وجود مشارك معصب وأصل وفرع.
Excellent. There's no siblings, or there's no father or mother.
Ignore.
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 Ignore. طيب. Why have we given أخ لأم here? Ignore. Because for them to inherit a third, there needs to be
Two of them.
two or more. طيب. طيب. Three sisters from your mother's side, one sister from your father and mother's side, your full sister, and your am. What do they get here? No? So this? Why? There's a group of them, and there's no child of the deceased, and there's no asl of the deceased. طيب. How many people inherit a third? Two. A who? And أخ or أخت لأم.
أولاد الأم.
I should write actually أولاد الأم. أحسنت. أولاد الأم. طيب. How many conditions?
The Umm has three.
لا أولاد الأم. What are these three conditions? There can't be a child, there can't be a father, oxford, and they have to be two or more, two or more. How many conditions? Three conditions. What are these three conditions? Adam فرع وارث. Adam جمع. How many more? Adam العمريتين. طيب. There can't be a child of the deceased. Otherwise she'll go into something else. There can't be a group of brothers or sisters. Otherwise it'll go into something else. And the third one is what?
We haven't studied it.
That we haven't studied it yet. Khalas. Who can give me an example in which someone inherits a third? Make an example. An example. Just a jadda, a grandmother, a am,
and three أولاد الأم.
three أولاد, three أخوات مثلا. Three أخوات لأم.
أخوات الأم will get ثلث.
They'll get a thuluth. Why do they get a third?
Because there's no children and there's no...
Because there's no children, there's no ibn or bint here. Or ibn bint. Or bint ibn I mean. and there's no what? There's no asal, so there's no ab or jad here.
And there's two or more.
And there's two or more of them. All three conditions are met. So if you ever say, if I ask you why have you given them a third, you can either say all the conditions are met, or you can either mention these three conditions. And it's better to mention the three conditions in the beginning until you're well grounded in fara'id. Like in the beginning, it's good to mention these, because the more you mention it, the more times you mention it, the easier it becomes. Who's going to give me an example for the mother? From the sisters. أخت شقيقة عم. طيب gets what here? الثلث. Why does she get a thuluth here? عدم الفرع وارث. There's no child here. There's no ibn and there's no bint here. Or bint al-ibn. And there's no group of what? There's no group of brothers and sisters. We've only got one sister. طيب. الثلث خلاص صح؟ طيب. We've only
Sorry, when we say jump and akhawat, is that
Say it again?
for the mother, the second condition?
Yeah.
Is that more than 3 akhawat?
No. Two or more. Brothers or sisters. If there are any akhawat or ikhwa, and there are 3 of them, or 2 of them or more, 2 or more, then she gets a third. She doesn't get a third. She doesn't get a third. طيب. Can we move on? طيب. 2/3 now. Okay? We're going to move on to whoever deserves, or whoever gets 2/3. Like before we go on to that, how many people inherit nisf? 5, sir. Who are they? Zawj, bint. Let's write it down. Let's write it down. Hold on. Zawj, bint, bint, al-ibn, ukht shaqiqa, ukht li'ab. Excellent, excellent. So there are 5 people that inherit half. طبعا with their conditions. The first is the husband, the daughter of the son, the full sister or the half sister. That's understood, sir? طيب. Exclude the zawj here. Exclude the zawj. How many conditions were there for the bint to inherit half? 2. And the bint al-ibn? 3. Ukht shaqiqa? 4. And this one? 5. صح? طيب. In terms of them inheriting a third, it's exactly these people that are inheriting third. 4 people. 4 people. They inherit a third. Okay? 2/3, sorry. They inherit 2/3. Okay? The only difference here is, what was the condition for a bint to inherit half? Mu'assib, she has to be alone. What was the condition for the bint al-ibn to get half? They can't be? لا, the first, the mu'assib bit. There can't be a فرع وارث أعلى منها. There can't be. طيب. What about the أخت شقيقة? No, leave that out. There has to be. There can't be a brother on her side. صح? عدم معصب. There can't be a معصب. Let's learn this word first. Al-mu'assib. Okay. This mu'assib is a male. It's the brother of the person that we're mentioning here. So if I say mu'assib, the bint, her mu'assib is her brother. The bint al-ibn, her mu'assib is going to be her brother or cousin, but leave that to one side for now. Ukht shaqiqa, who's her mu'assib? Akh shaqiq. Her brother meaning. Ukht li'ab, who's her mu'assib? Akh li'ab. Her brother. That's who the mu'assib is. Right? The mu'assib, bring that condition here, it's exactly the same. So wherever you had mu'assib here is the same. The only difference here is, instead of saying that they have to be alone, there can't be another sister with her, Remember, for all of these, we said she has to be alone, meaning there can't be another sister, right? There can't be another sister. Now, there has to be another sister. There has to be two of them. Like, you seem confused. Bint. Bint. Someone tell me the conditions for a bint. Pay attention here. The bint. Number one, Adam and Mu'assib. And the second was what? Adam and Musharika. There can't be another sister of hers. Wait. This is for her to get how much? And this. For her to get 2/3, all we have to say is now, Adam al-Mu'assib, he stays the same. There can't be a brother of hers. And for this, we say أن يكونوا اثنين فأكثر أو أن يكون طبعا أن يكون اثنين فأكثر. They have to be two or more. Remember, for her to get half, she has to be one, right? Now, if we want to give him a third, they have to be what? Two or more. She has to have another sister with her in order to get half. She, the bint, has to have another sister with her. Is that understood? The bint al-ibn has to have another sister of hers. So that makes them how many? Two. Ukht shaqiqa has to have how many? Two. Two ukht shaqiqa. For her to get a third. And ukht li-ab, for her to get a third, there has to be a? There has to be two of them. طيب. If you didn't understand it that way, let's go back to each one and study their conditions. Who's the first person that gets a thuluth? Bint. Bintani. Two. طيب. What conditions have you got on there? Adam al-Mu'assib. There can't be a brother of theirs. There can't be a brother of theirs. Is that understood? What is the second condition? وجود أخت. طيب. وجود المشاركة. أحسنت. So you can play around with the wording once you understand it. وجود المشاركة. There has to be someone who shares it with her. There has to be two or more. They have to be two or more. They have to be two or more. Example. Two bint, ab, أخت شقيقة. Let's need أخت شقيقة for now. طيب. What do they get here? They get thulusan. Thulusan is probably the most out of all of the furud. Out of all of these that we've been studying, thulusan is the most. طيب. The ab here, he gets what? Ignore. And the mother, we ignore her. No, for now, we ignore the mother. Although we studied the mother, like we studied when she gets what? Thuluth. And here, can she get a thuluth? No, because it's daughters. طيب. The daughters here, they get a thuluthan. They get 2/3 of the wealth that the deceased leaves behind. So they get 2/3 of whatever the deceased leaves behind. Why do they get 2/3? Go back to the conditions. Wujud al-Musharaka, she has a sister. There's two of them here. Excellent. And there's no brothers on her. There's no brothers. So Ibn, if we were to say here, they're not going to get thuluthan. That's something else. Ignore for now. Ignore for now. Lakin, if there's no Ibn, then they're going to get what? 2/3. I'll give you another example. Bintan. Banat. 3. Let's say 4 of them. Ukht. Shaqiqa. أي عم. طيب. عم. أب. طيب. What do the banat get here? 2/3. فإن كن النساء فوق اثنتين فلهن ثلثا ما ترك. 2/3. طيب. Leave these. أخت شقيقة, what does she get here? Ignore. عم. Ignore and him ignore. طيب. Why have we given these 4 sisters a third? Excellent. There's more than 2. There's 4 of them here. And there's no what? There's no mu'assib here. طيب. So how many people inherit a third? لا, how many people inherit 2/3? 4. How many have we studied? 1. And what are the conditions? طيب. The second is what? Banat al-ibn, صح? The second is what? So we've already studied this. Was the second one on there? Banat al-ibn. The daughters of the son. Banat al-ibn, that's how it says, right? Banat al-ibn. طيب. Banat al-ibn literally have these same conditions. Exactly the same conditions. We just add a third one. What do you think that third one is going to be? Huh?
وجود there's another.
There's another, of course there's another, yeah.
There's another daughter of the son.
There's another
Daughter of the son.
There's another daughter of the deceased who's higher than her. No direct inheritance. Adam fucking work. أعلى منها.
He has to have a sister basically.
لا, we've done that already. We've established, listen, we've established that there can't be a brother of hers. There's a brother of hers, خلاص. She can't get that. We've established that they need to be more than what? 2. So there's banat ibn. That's why I said banat and not bint ibn, not bint ibn. There has to be 2 of them. طيب, the third condition is what? أعلى منها. Go back to, what was a condition for her to get a half?
No
direct above her. Adam. الوارث أعلى. أعلى منها. There can't be a direct inheritor. Who said mu'assib? Who said asl? How do you know you got it? You might be right. 1 second. Let's see the conditions. طيب. ثلثان.
The granddad
the father, the Ab and the Jad, right? It could be
صح. The Ab and the Jad don't get involved. With the banat, the father and the Jad don't even look at them. They can't prevent them from getting their inheritance. Banat al-ibn get how much? A third. 2/3. When did they get 2/3? When there's no brother of theirs, or a cousin saying like, no brother of theirs.
2 or more.
When there's 2 or more of them, or no direct inheritance above. طيب. Here we have 6 daughters of the son, Banat al-Ibn, 6 of them. Ukht shaqiqa, an ukht shaqiqa, al-am, an uncle, and an ab. What do these people get here? Huh? Thuluthan. Does everyone agree with Muhammad? Huh? Thuluthan? Why?
No.
Huh?
شقيقة is
The deceased doesn't have, there's no bint.
Listen. You don't even need to argue. Listen. You don't need to argue. The conditions are on here. It wasn't a trick question. If this mas'ala This is called a mas'ala, okay? This is called a mas'ala. If this meets these conditions, khalas, give them what? Look here, look in the conditions. If they meet the conditions, give them a third. Khalas. Let's start with the first one. Adam al-Mu'assib. Is there a Mu'assib? Is there a brother of theirs here? No. Khalas. Wujud Mu'assib, Wujud Musharaka. Is there another sister of theirs? Huh? Khalas, there's 6 of them. They're definitely sisters. طيب. Number 3. Adam. فرق.
She's my deceased.
She's the sister of the deceased.
The Ukht Shaqiqa is their grandmother, no?
Who's grandma?
The Banat.
No.
Yeah, so it's not
Khalas, isma'. The mistake that you guys are making is you're looking at the relationship between these people here. And how many times, umpteen times I've told you, don't look at the relationship between
The inheritors.
the inheritors. Because she's a grandmother here. This shaqiqa here is going to be their grandmother. Okay? Don't look at the relationship between these people. 6 Banatul Ibn. Zayd passes away. He leaves behind 6 of his son's daughters. Zayd also leaves behind a sister of his. The sister of his is the grandmother to who? Exactly. So that is not a fact, that is a'la minha. Okay, I'll draw it. Okay. Let's play hangman. Zayd.
Whose water is this?
Zayd.
For everyone. Yeah.
Zayd
Can you take
has,
this on my way?
Zayd has a child called. Pay attention here. Zayd has a child called what? Ahmed. Ahmed gives birth to those 6 girls that we said earlier on. Right? Is that understood? Right. Zayd happens to have an ukht shaqiqa. Her name is Hind. Okay. طبعا this person can't be here. Right. Otherwise he would inherit Zayd. Zayd passes away today. Right? 2 p.m. as well. Right. Who passed away? Zayd passes away. Rahmatullah alayhi. Right. Zayd left behind, in this mas'ala we have Ukht Shaqiqa and 6 Banat and Ibn. First and foremost, let's establish who is the Ukht Shaqiqa. She is the sister of Zayd who passed away. She's his sister. Right? These Banat al-Ibn, who are they? They are the children of his son, who passed away ages ago. Because if his son was alive, would these girls inherit? No, of course not. They wouldn't inherit. So there's no Ahmed, he's out of the picture. Zayd is now out of the picture, he died earlier on. He left behind what?
6
Banat al-Ibn. 6 daughters of his son. And a Ukht Shaqiqa, sah? Okay. Let's go back to those conditions. What were those conditions for the Banat al-Ibn? Number 1, Adam al-Mu'assib. No brother. No brother. Is there a brother of theirs here? No. What was the second condition? Group. Okay. Is there a group of them here? Excellent. What was the third condition? Excellent. وارث أعلى منها. طيب. Okay. What they mean by this, okay, is مثلا Zayd left behind another child called another child called Ali مثلا, or another daughter called Hind. These people, they are, what is the relation between them and Zayd? They're his children, sah? They're his children, okay? So if Zayd had any other children apart from Ahmed, then obviously his children are going to inherit, okay? If he left behind one son called Ali, they don't get anything. Ali takes everything, okay? But if he left behind just a daughter called Hind, what does Hind get here? I want someone to go back to half. Someone go back to half. Okay, why does Hind get here, half here? There's no brother of hers. Ahmed and Ali, they died before her. Who else? She's the only daughter, khalas. So Hind is the far' warith. So that third condition is really related to Hind here and Ahmed. Okay? Zayd, these are his descendants. This is his sister. Remember when I said usul? What are usul? Jad, the grandmother and the grandfather, mother, grandmother, all of these. What are the furu'? Children. What are the hawashi? Hawashi, brothers, sisters, uncles, and so on. The sons of your uncles and so on and so forth. Like, is that understood? If you remember this time last week, we had a problem with Banat ibn getting half. And now, they've given us, or they're confusing. And I did say that it's understandable to find this Banat ibn confusing. And the only thing that is confusing about it is what? The third condition. That is the only, that's the confusing one. And it is confusing.
You know the direct inheritance above all? Is that the you just say descendants of the deceased?
That's exactly what it says. What does it say on there?
I don't know.
Read it. What does it say on your conditions? No direct inheritor of the deceased. Does it not say that?
Yeah.
That's what it should say.
Yeah, so that's descendants of the deceased, which is above the person.
So for the deceased, they're going to be his descendant. But for these people, they're going to be Naam, Jad, Ab, Ibn. Who's highest? The Jad is the highest. Who's the middle? So for the Ab here, the Jad is higher than him, but the son is lower than him, sah? Like, any more questions on Banat al-Ibn?
So is it only her uncle and auntie who can be أعلى منها?
No, her uncles or her auntie. Her uncle or her auntie. That person that was drawn here was her grandmother. That was her grandmother.
So I can see Mu'asib, is that the brothers that are full brothers, or is it any brother? Half brothers,
Full brother or half. Full or half.
and the Musharik, is that?
Leave that for now. Leave that for now. Let's try and understand the third condition, because that's going to even confuse us even more, because that's when her cousins come into it. Khalas? طيب. How many people inherit a third? Two people. 2/3, sorry. How many people inherit 2/3? So far we've studied 2. 4 in total, we've studied 2. The first is what? Bint. What does she inherit? Thuluthan. Or when does she inherit Thuluthan? If there's no Mu'asib, if she doesn't have a brother, or if there's no brother of hers, what else? Wujud Musharik. There has to be a sister of hers. So it makes them Banat, 2 or more. طيب. Banat al-Ibn, how many conditions? 3, just add 1. 3, sah? The first 2 and no, there can't be, basically there can't be a bint or an ibn who is above her. There can't be a bint or ibn who is higher than her. A son or daughter who is higher than her. Right. The third group, akhawat. Akhawat, shafiqat, sah? How many conditions? 4. The first one is what? Adam Ma'asib. Why is it Adam Ma'asib? Inshallah, hopefully if we get time towards the end of the class, we'll understand why the brothers. Because the brother takes them to a whole new inheritance. Like Adam Ma'asib, there can't be a brother of theirs. Okay? What is the second condition? Group. Musharaka. طيب. It has to be a مشارك. The third
عدم الفرق.
عدم الفرق.
أعلى منها.
الوارث.
أبسط أعلى منها. عدم الفرق الوارث. There can't be a child. No child. And with the fourth condition.
عدم الأصل. من الرجال.
الوارث. طبعا from the رجال. طيب. Sisters, a group of full sisters inherit half with these conditions. There can't be another brother of theirs. There can't be a brother of theirs. So if a person dies and he leaves behind two sisters, akhawat, shaqiqat, and he leaves behind akh shaqiq, they can't inherit a third here. Why? Because there's a what? There's a mu'assib. He's the mu'assib here. He takes them away. He says, no, you're not going to take you're not going to take 2/3. You're going to take something else that we're going to stop. Right. That is the first condition. There has to be what? 2 or more. Okay? 2 or more. In those exercises that you saw, you had at home, ukht shaqiq. That's what kept them coming up. Why? Because we've studied the nisf. Like in here, we need 2 or more of these sisters. Okay? That's why it says akhawat and not ukht. Akhawat means jam, a group, but not ukht. That is the second condition. The third condition and the fourth condition, there can't be a father or a grandfather, and there can't be a child, a descendant. Is that understood? There can't be a child. مثلا 3 أخوات and a am. What do the أخوات here get? There's 3 sisters, شقيقات طبعا, 3 sisters, full sisters, and they leave an uncle. That person dies, he leaves behind 3 sisters, shaqiqat, and the am, an uncle. What do these sisters get here? 2/3. Why do they get 2/3? You can answer in 2 ways. You can either say the conditions are met, or you can say there's no mu'assib, there's no brother of theirs, and there's also a group of them, and there's no child of the deceased, and there's no what? There's no father of the deceased, or a grandfather. Is that understood? طيب. طيب. I'm going to explain this, and then I want you to work out the other ones. 6 sisters, full sisters. Before answering this, I need to look at who else is in the masala. Because 6, that's one condition out of the way, which is condition number 2. I know there's a group of them. طيب. Like in here, there's a bint. And there's also an ibn. There's also a son and a daughter of the deceased. It doesn't meet which condition? The third one, because there's now a child, right? So do they get third? Like, what do we say here? Ignore. They don't get anything in this case. Six sisters. Ab. What do they get here? Ignore. Why do we ignore them here? Because there's a father. No, because there's a father. And they won't inherit anything in this case. Who can give me an example? An example from the brothers and an example from the sisters. Give me an example of this banat, akhawat, this one that we're studying now. A group of sisters inheriting 2/3.
So there's 3 sisters.
3 sisters, akhawat.
There's
Am, an uncle. And Jadda. Excellent that you said Jadda. طيب, what do they get here? Does everyone agree with? Like, why did you say they get 2/3?
Because all the conditions are met.
All the conditions are met. That's the shortcut. Why do they get a 2/3?
There's no brother.
There's no brother of their, there's no brother of theirs.
There's three of them.
There's three of them, a group of them.
There's no child of the deceased.
There's no child of the deceased.
And there's no father or grandfather.
Excellent. Excellent. طيب, sisters, someone give me an example before we move on. How many? طيب. أخوات لأب. Excellent. Excellent. خلاص؟ نعم. Excellent. What do the أخوات شقيقات get here? 2/3. Excellent. Why did they get 2/3? They've met all of the conditions. So there's no brother of theirs, there's no أخ شقيق here. So i.e. أخ شقيق. Not here. What was the second condition? A group of them. It meets, because there's now more than two of them. The third condition was what? Adam far'i walid. There's no ibn or there's no bint here. طيب? We don't see that here. And the fourth one, Adam al-Asl. There's no ab, there's no father here or jad. طيب. So that's 4 conditions. 1 condition met, 2, 3, 4. All met like that. طيب. So in this case they get what? 2/3. Lost. طيب. And the last set of people are what? Or group? أخوات لأب. All of those 4 conditions for the أخت شقيقة, just add one more. What is that? Adam أخوات شقيقات or أخت شقيقة. There can't be a sister that inherit a full sister. So we've already understood 1, 2, 3, and 4. Condition 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't need to repeat because you've understood it already. Right? Basically, she gets it with 4. She gets these sisters that are shaqiqat, they inherit 2/3 if 4 conditions are met. صح? Now, these akhawat li'ab, half sister from your father's side, they also inherit it with how many conditions? 5. However, these 4 are exactly the same as the ukht shaqiqa. What are they? Quickly. No brother, group of them, no child, and no father. طيب. So what can this be? Adam al-shaqaiq. There's no shaqiq or shaqiqa. There's no full brother or full sister of the deceased. There's no full brother or full sister of the deceased. Khalas. That's it. This one's quite easy because you just need to add these conditions along with another one, which there can't be akhawat shaqiqat. مثلا, for example, 4 akhawat li'ab, half sisters from your brother's side, and am. What do these 4 sisters get now? 2/3. Why did they get 2/3? Because all the conditions are met. Number 1, there's no brother of theirs. Number 2, there's a group of them, 4 of them here. Number 3, there's no child of the deceased. It doesn't say ibn or bint anywhere. Number 4, there's no father or grandfather. And the last condition?
No 4 sisters.
There's no full sisters, no shaqa'iq. All brothers or sisters, no shaqiq or shaqa'iq. 1 or more. 1 or more. طيب. أو أخوات لأب. أب، ابن. طيب. What do they get here? Ignore. Why? Why do we ignore?
Because there's a asl and a farq.
There's an asl, there's a condition not met here, and there's a condition not met here. There's a condition not met here because there's a child. And there's another condition which is that there's an ab. The only condition that is met is that there's a group of them. And the fact that there is no akhawat shaqiqat. Like, someone from the brothers give me an example, and someone from the sisters give me an example, and then we move on to the next fund. Someone else. So Umar and Habib and Hamid are good examples. Ismail, fadal. Huh? أخت لأب. عم. جدة. Excellent. What does this person get here? 2/3. Excellent. What does the am get? Exactly. أخوات. طيب. I wanted to dig a deeper hole. What does he get here? Ignore. Jadda? Ignore. You should know. No, actually you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't know. Actually, astaghfirullah, you shouldn't know. Khalas. Oh, she gets something, yeah, but not
Start with that.
not.
That's the name.
What are you talking about? The we've only studied that she gets 1/3, huh? With what conditions though? There's a group here. There's a group of sisters or brothers. Like, I'm telling you, for the first, like, I don't know, when you're studying fara'id, in the beginning you're going to say that, and then you're going to forget any of the conditions. So that is totally normal. It's part of the learning process. Tayyib, from the sisters, give me a good example like that. Otherwise I'm going to have to pick someone. Zawja. Mind you, if you mention someone who we've studied already, you need to give them their due right as well. Go on, Zawja. 3 akhawat li'ab and jadda. Excellent. What does the Zawja get here? Why? No children. Excellent. Akhawat li'ab? 2/3. Why do they get 2/3? Say the conditions. There's no brother of theirs. There's no brother of theirs. They're in a group. There's 3 of them. No descendant, no child, and no father, and no grandfather, and no akhawat shaqiqat. There's no full sisters who are closer to deceased than these akhawat. And jadda, ignore. Excellent. Thuluthan. How many people inherit thuluthan? 4 people. Who are they? Bint al-ibn. La, afwan, start again. How many people inherit thuluthan? 2 daughters. Don't say bint, say banat. Or banat al-ibn or akhawat. What? Daughters. Daughters of the son. Sisters. Full sisters. Or half sisters from the father's side. Tayyib. And you know how many conditions they each inherit, sah? Khalas. That's 2/3 out the way. This was the one with the most people. Ab, أولاد الأم بنت الابن. What are the other ones? جدة صح أحسن جدة. It should be someone else. Huh? Jadda. Excellent. Jadda. How many of them? 6 there should be, صح? So who's the other person? Huh? أخت لأب صح أخت لأب. طيب أخت لأب. Okay. طبعا this is the least. Okay. And I'm going to mention these how in order of how easy they are. The ab. The ab. He gets a sudus, and there's only one condition for him. What is that one condition? Huh? نعم وجود نعم وجود الفرع. وجود الفرع. If there's a descendant of the deceased, if there's a child of the deceased. طيب ولأبويه لكل واحد منهم السدس مما ترك إن كان له ولد. So their father and the mother, they get a sudus if the deceased leaves behind a child. Okay, is that understood? مثلا example, أب, ibn, and أخت شقيقة. What does the Ab get here? Sudus. Why does he get sudus? Because there's an ibn. Excellent. Ab, bint. What does the Ab get here? Huh? 6. The sudus. Why? There's a bint. Excellent. Huh? Huh? What did I write? Ab. خلاص, give the 2 fives as well. طيب. Ab. Jad. أخ شقيق. What does the father get here? صح?
No.
أحسنت. جزاك الله خير. I like that. No. Go. What does he get here? What do we give him then? We need to give him something. The father can't go. Ignore for now. Ignore for now. Is that understood? In reality, he's going to get everything. Everything goes to the father here. Everything.
The full wealth.
The full wealth. But leave that for now. Okay. The father gets a sidus, a 6, with how many conditions? 1. What is that one condition? Huh? No, what? Presence of a child. طيب, خلاص. Jad. Let's go to this one now. The Jad. The Jad. He gets a sudus. Lakin with how many conditions? 2. طيب, what's the first one? There are 2 though, isn't it? Yeah? طيب, Adam fucking work, there can't be a child. Or there needs to be a child, sorry, not Adam. Keep my Adam. There needs to be a child. There needs to be a child, sir. Exactly like the father. He's the same as the father in that condition. The second condition is what? There's no ab. Okay, there's no ab, sir. طيب, مثلا Ahmed passes away. His father is Zayd and the grandfather is Amr. طيب. Okay. He died. What's Zayd's relationship to him? Father. And his relationship? Grandfather. طيب. That's the grandfather. Who inherits Ahmed? The father. Why? Because the father's closer to. Who's closer to you? Your father or your grandfather? Your father is closer to you. So he inherits. He doesn't inherit. But imagine, the grandfather doesn't inherit. But if there was no Zayd, and this was the grandfather, who inherits? The Jad that inherits. The Jad, the grandfather. Why does the grandfather inherit here? Because there's no father and there's no descendant. When does the grandfather inherit a 6th? No, you said no grand descendant. There is a descendant here. Ibn. Right. When does he inherit? When does the grandfather inherit? If there are children of the deceased and there's no father. Is that understood? There's children of the deceased and there's no father. Because if there wasn't a father, okay, if the father was there, the father's going to inherit everything. Inherit 6. He's not going to inherit the Jad. It doesn't come to the Jad. Okay? Also this one, if there were no children, he would inherit everything in most cases. So the grandfather inherits a sixth. With how many conditions? 2. What are those conditions? There has to be a child, a descendant of the deceased, and there can't be a father of the deceased. طيب. Let's him out of the way. Let's go to the mother. طيب. The mother, the first condition, how many conditions first? 2, sir? What's the first condition? Wujud farq. There has to be a child. Wujud. Previous one was Adam. There has to be a child, a descendant of the child. Okay? And the second condition is what?
With a group of siblings.
Huh?
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be what? Umayyatayn. Okay, is that the only 2 conditions? لا. There should be another condition. If there's a group of them, if there's a group of brothers and sisters. ولأبويه لكل واحد منهم فإن لم يكن له ولد وارث وأبواه فلأمه الثلث فإن كان له إخوة فلأمه السدس فإن كان له إخوة فلأمه السدس. Leave this Umayyatayn out. One of the 2 Umars. Leave that out for now. Don't go into that. The third is there has to be jam' min al-ikhwa. Jam' min al-ikhwa. There has to be a group of them. A group of brothers. Technically, it should be on here. She gets a 6 if there's a group of brothers, or بنص الآية. يعني في سورة النساء الله سبحانه وتعالى says فإن كان له إخوة فلأمه نعم فلأمه السدس. طيب. The mother inherits a 6 with how many conditions? 3 conditions. There has to be a descendant, a child. Leave one of it can't be one of the 2 Umars, leave that out. And the third is there has to be a group of brothers or sisters. Is that understood? فإن كان له إخوة صحيح فإن كان له إخوة فلأمه سدس إخوة. What the condition here? There has to be a group of brothers or sisters or mixed.
But he's saying the ayah says ikhwa. Is that meant to?
فإن كان له إخوة, if the maid has إخوة, brothers, فلأمه, his mother gets سدس.
Yeah, but the ayah doesn't say أخوات. مخرج العموم.
لا نفس الشيء. If there's a group of sisters or a group of brothers. Group of sisters or group of brothers. Right. The she gets a half. She gets 6 when?
If the deceased has a child.
If the deceased has a child and
there's a group of
if there's a group of brothers or sisters. خلاص. How many people have we studied so far?
3.
3. Jadda, the grandmother. Let's go to the grandmother. How many conditions? What is that one? Adam. There can't be a mother. خلاص. If the deceased dies and there's a mother, then the grandmother doesn't inherit. If a person, مثلا Ahmed dies, he leaves behind a mother. Jadda. طيب. Who died? Ahmed, he dies. طيب. Who's his mother? here, that's his mother. She doesn't inherit anything. Why? Because there's someone closer than her. Is that understood? There's someone that is closer than her. Therefore, she doesn't get anything. Like if there was no mother here, the jadda inherits. First and foremost, is that condition understood? The mother of the deceased can't be there. If she's there, the grandmother doesn't inherit anything. Is that understood? Right, the next question you can ask is, what grandmother inherits? Because there's you can have more than one grandmother, sir. Your grandmother from your mother's side, or your grandmother from your father's side.
Mother's side.
Your grandmother from your mother's side and your grandmother from your father's side. Is that understood? Or the mother of your grandmother. Your great grandmother. Great grandmother. Your grandfather, your grandparents, your grandmothers, your grandmother, who's your father's mum, or your grandmother, who is your mother's mum, or their grandmothers. For now, understand it like that. So it could be how many? Three. There could be three alive at the same time. How can there be four? Huh? Regardless of who is alive at the same time. If you have a grandmother, they inherit a sixth. Khalas. As for the side, inshallah we'll get to it when we get into the book. Like if you leave a grandmother behind, even if both grandmothers are alive from your father's side, even if your great grandmother's alive, leave the great grandmothers alive for now. If you've got two grandmothers alive, your father's mother and your mother's mother, how many are there? Two. They both inherit. And they share a sixth. Remember the zawjat, they share a what? They share a thumun, an eighth, or they share a rubu', right? The grandmothers are exactly the same. So for example, mathalan, you have a jadda, but she's your al-um. She's your mother's father, and she's your mother's mother. And then you have another jadda here, and ab. So they're both alive. Your grandmother from your father's side and your grandmother from your father's side, mother's side. They're both alive. What do they get? They share a sudus. Grandmother is pretty easy, sir. As long as there's no mother, she inherits. Khalas. طيب. How many have we done so far? Four. Okay. Let's go to أولاد الأم. Who are the أولاد الأم?
Children of the deceased mother.
Children of the deceased's mother. Your half brothers or sisters from your mother's side. Half brother or sister from your mother's side. There are three things here that we already studied. أخت شقيقة, أخت لأب, and أخت لأم. Right. Who is your أخت شقيقة? Your full sister. What does that mean? Yeah? You share the same mum and the same father, صح? Same mum and dad. خلاص. أخت لأب. Who is your أخت لأب? You share the same father. Her mother is someone else. Like your father's got married to two women or more. So she is the daughter of your father. So she's your half sister from your father's side. Is that understood? طيب. أخت لأم. Who is she?
Maternal sister.
Huh?
Maternal sister.
Your maternal half sister. So you share the same mother, but you don't share the same father. So sisters are of these three. Brothers are of these three. Same thing, you can write أخ شقيق, أخ لأب, أخ لأم. Is that understood? Right. So that is who. That's the first question done. Who inherits? So we're referring to this person now. Okay? أخت لأب, we're going to get to her in a minute. Right. أخت لأب. What are their conditions? Their conditions.
عدم الشفاعة.
ها؟
عدم الشفاعة.
عدم الفرع وارث. لحظة، عدم الفرع الوارث.
عدم الأصل.
عدم الأصل. تذكر from the men. And the third one is what?
عدم no full brother
They can't be
sister.
معصب.
It's not for brothers and sisters.
It's the last one. From this.
عدم الشفاعة.
لا. Has to be a person on his own. You're meant to know this already. Who inherits a third? How many people inherit a third? Two people. Who? The mother. Leave the mother out for now. Who is the other person? أولاد الأم. What were their conditions?
No child of disease.
No child of the deceased, and there has to be a group of them. So here, there has to be one of them to get a sudus. There can only be one of them. A group of them get a third. Huh?
So is it Adam and
No, it has to be infirad. It has to be. Wait, okay. Adam and Ma'as be there. No group. They can't be a group. They can't be a group. There can only be one person. There can only be what? One person. The children of your mother only inherit in two circumstances. We've already studied the first, which is what? Third. Okay, when do they get a third?
There's a group.
If there's a group of them, and if there isn't, a child of the deceased. Right. So now that you've memorized that condition, there has to, for them to get a third, there has to be no child of the deceased and what? And a group of them. And a group of them.
No father and grandfather.
طيب صح لكن نعم no grandfather لكن for here نعم. So there can't be a grandfather or a mother or a father. That's for them to get a third. So for them to get a sixth, or for that person, for your half brother or sister from your mother's side to get a sixth, they have to meet these conditions. They can't be a descendant. If there was a child, they wouldn't get. If there was a child of the deceased, they wouldn't get a sixth. They wouldn't get anything actually. The second is there can't be a father or a grandfather of the deceased. And here there has to be alone. It has to be alone. مثلا أخ لأم العم. أخ لأم. One. There's one half brother of yours. So the deceased leaves behind a half brother from the mother's side and an uncle. طيب. What does this أخ لأم get here? Huh? A sudus, a sixth. But why? What are the conditions?
There's no child.
There's no child here.
No
There's
father.
no father.
There's no father here or grandfather.
By himself.
And he's on his own. He's on his own. طيب. أخت لأم أخت شقيقة Okay. Here, أخت لأم, she gets a sixth. But why? Let's apply the conditions. Number one.
There's no child.
There's no child here. Is there ibn or bint? لا. Is there عدم أصل? Is there a father here? Or grandfather? لا. And there can't be a group of them. Is there a group of them here? لا. So this individual here gets what? A sixth. This individual here gets a sixth. The أخت شقيقة and ab don't concern us. Don't look at these people, look at the conditions first. See if the conditions are met. If the conditions are met, and don't say But there's ukh shaqiqa. It's nothing to do with you if there's ukh shaqiqa. Don't say, oh, there's there. It's nothing to do with us at the moment. It's understood. Since we're here, what does the get here?
Ignore.
Who? Say that again?
Ignore.
Ignore, okay. But we can't ignore her now because the mother, there were two circumstances that she inherits and we've studied both. Huh? Sudus. Okay. Why Sudus? There's no child. There's no brother or sister.
It's a third.
No, it'd be Sudus because
No, it's not. There's a group.
You gave me half the answer. This person is what? This group of them. There's two of them. Remember two or more? Two or more, okay. Sorry, I shouldn't have even gone into it. Okay. No, it's a mistake. I should have done it because. Class. Here, what does she get? This is our mahal shahid anyway. What does she get? Sudus. Because all the conditions are met. Okay. Another example. There's 7 akhawat li and ukht shaqiqa. طيب. What does she get here? 639. Huh? 1/3.
They share.
Ignore.
Now, does she get a sudus? Do they get a sudus here? Why don't they get a sudus? Huh?
More than one.
There's musharaka, so they can't get. Huh? There's a group of them here. There's a group of them here, and they can't get sudus. Like, what should they get?
No.
They can't get thulusan. They don't come under thulusan.
It will be ignored.
Why would we ignore them?
Because it's on the mom's side, we haven't studied it. We only studied on the father's side.
No, they get a thuluth.
Yeah, they get a full.
Excellent. Why do they get thulus?
There's
There's
a
no
group.
child.
There's no child.
There's no father.
There's no father.
And they're a group.
They're a group. Yeah? طيب. طيب. If it makes it easier, right? أخ or أخت لأم. Okay? Your half sister from your mother's side, or your half brother from your mother's side. طيب. Is that understood? خلاص. بنات الابن, they always cause a problem. Okay. بنات or bint? نفس الشيء. Okay. We've only got about 15 minutes. Quickly. بنات ابن. I should have wrote ابن. Okay. خلاص. What are the conditions?
You said أولاد الأم.
أولاد
On the
الأم.
sheet it says أخوات الأم.
On the sheet it should say أخوات or لا, it's wrong. It should say أخ or أخ or أخت.
It doesn't say anything.
It's half brother, half sister, mother's side.
It's the last one. It doesn't
It's
say
the last one. That's right. It's half brother or half sister from the mother's side.
أولاد.
Yeah.
That's children, no? The children of the...
The mother.
It's the half brother and sister of the deceased.
That's the children of the mother.
A half brother, 1, or a half sister, 1. Remember, I just wrote أخ or أخت لأم, 1. If there was a group of them, it would be a thuluth. طيب, بنات الابن, بنت الابن. How many conditions? 2. What was the first one?
عدم المعصب.
Adam al-Ma'asib. There can't be her brother. It can't be ibn. So there can't be ibn here. Because that's her brother. She can't have a brother here. No sibling of hers. And the second condition?
وجود البنت.
Okay. وجود بنت أعلى منها, صح?
Yeah.
Is that understood? طيب. You've understood the first condition. There can't be a brother of hers, right? Okay. This requires a bit of concentration. طيب. Who's going to do this? Bint. What does the bint get here? Excellent. Nisf. She gets a nisf. The bint al-ibn here now, There's a group of them, sir. There's a group of females. Now, women, if there's a group of daughters, or there's a daughter and daughters of the son, or if there's an ukht, banat, طيب, if there ever is a bint, okay, and you find with her another bint, like in bint al-ibn, who is lower than her, then she gets a 6. Because as a group, women, the maximum they can inherit is what? Thuluthan. That is the maximum amount that they can inherit. Okay? Here we have a bint and a bint ibn. She can't be disregarded here. Why can't she be disregarded? Because she is the daughter of her son. She's the daughter of her son, so she can't be disregarded. But again, we can't give her half. Why can't we give this bint ibn half here? Because there's a one a'la minha, sah? Okay. So there's someone who's higher than her. Her auntie, who's the direct descendant of the deceased, is there. So because of that, we can't give her half. Okay? But nevertheless, we can't tell her to go away because she's the daughter of who? Of a son. So therefore we say we give her a 6th. A 6th. Okay? A sudus. And it says, and you say takmilata thuluthayn. Takmilata thuluthayn. Okay. Takmilata thuluthayn. Takmilatu thuluthayn. Write that down. This is a new terminology. This is a new terminology for this lesson. Takmilatu thuluthayn. Takmilatu thuluthayn. Right. What does takmilatu thuluthayn mean? Right. 2/3 is the maximum. If you take half of that, right, if you take half and give it to the bint, what is left? A 6th is left. How? I don't know. The Fagadiyin, that's how they say it. Okay? Thuluthan, that's the maximum that women can get. The maximum women can get in inheritance is thuluthan, sorry. Aslan, that is the most anyway. If you look into the Quran, فَلَهَا النِّصْفِ رُبَعُ ثُمَّ, this is actually the most. Like in the maximum they can be given is the highest amount of any inheritance, which is thuluthan. But that thuluthan consists of a half and a 6th. In other ways, in other words, if we were to give the bint ibn here, the bint, sudus, half. If we say take half, the bint needs inheritance, right? We can't tell her to go away. Why? She's the daughter of a son. Therefore, what do we say to her? Because you guys are entitled to thuluthan, we're going to give you the remaining amount. And the remaining amount from this thuluthan is sudus, a 6th. Khalas. And you say, she gets a sudus takmilatu thuluthayn. Or takmilatu thuluthayn. She gets a sudus takmilatu thuluthayn. Khalas. I'll give you an example. Bint al-ibn or What does the bint get here? Nisf. All the conditions are met. What does the bint ibn get here? Look at those conditions here. Just look at the conditions, don't go far. Just look at the conditions. Adam, is there a brother of hers? Brother of hers would look like this. Ibn. That's what a brother of hers would look like. But he's not here. So we met the first condition. What is the second condition? وجود بنت أعلى منها. There has to be a daughter who's higher than her, who takes half. Is there a daughter who's higher than her, who takes a half? Like, because of that we give her a 6. That equals what? 2/3. So you give her a sudus when you say takmilata thuluthayn. Like, who's going to give me an example? One example. Just one, because we don't have time. of that of Banat al-Ibn, Bint Ibn getting خلاص other. Let's say Bint here. Bint. أخت شقيقة. Banat al-Ibn. Let's say there's 20 of them here. طيب. What does the Bint get here? Nisf. What does أخت شقيقة get here? لا. We don't ignore now. Hold on. No. You know what? Ignore. صح. Ignore because there's something else. Okay. Banat al-Ibn, what do they get here?
Sudus.
Excellent. Why? Sudus completed though. Sudus takmilat al-thuluthing. Why? There's a bint who's higher than her. There's a bint who's higher than them.
They don't have a brother.
And they don't have a brother.
On the level.
On their level. They don't have a brother. Is understood? Like, let's move on from the Banat al-Ibn now. How many people have we studied for the Sudus?
6.
Huh?
6.
Okay, أخت لأخت لأب. How many conditions are there for her? What are they? Adam Mu'assib, there can't be a brother of hers. Meaning there can't be Akh li'ab. There can't be a brother of hers. And the second is what? Huh? Wujud,
Musharika.
Ukht. Wujud, Ukht.
Shaqiqa.
Does it not say Wujud, Ukht, Shaqiqa?
Yeah.
It has to be a...
Full sister.
It has to be a full sister. Okay. Remember with the Banat al-Ibn we said there has to be a daughter that is higher than her. Yeah? What did that daughter get? Nisf. Excellent. Here, obviously there's no brother. This Ukht Shaqiqa, she has to take half. And then whatever is remaining, she takes a sixth. مثلا, Ukht Shaqiqa. A person dies, he leaves one Ukht Shaqiqa. And one أخت لأب أنعم طيب أخت شقيقة gets how many? Gets what in this scenario?
Half.
She gets half. Why?
Meets the conditions.
Meets the conditions. طيب, she meets the conditions. But this أخت لأب, what do we give her now? السدس. Why? تكملة الثلثين, لكن why?
There's a full sister.
There's no brother of her, so there's no أخ لأب. There's no أخ لأب. Okay? And وجود أخت شقيقة. There's the presence of a full sister who gets half. Is that understood? Who gets half. Don't forget, she gets half. If she doesn't get half, then she definitely doesn't get sudus. She definitely doesn't get sudus. Yeah? Okay. What does the أخت لأب get here? Sudus. Why? Sudus تكملة الثلثين. تكملة الثلثين, she gets a 6. Why? Because there's no brother of hers and there's a sister. What does this sister get then? She gets half. She gets half. And what do this half and this sudus, what do they make up? They make 2/3. Because the maximum that women, whether they're sisters like this or bint and bint ibn, the maximum they can take, they can be given is what? Thuluthan. So if we say to the ukht, now you take half, there's still something left for them. They're still coming back to the bank and saying, listen, there's some of our funds are still there. And then we say, طيب, خلاص, take your sudus and go. Your sudus and her half equal what? 2/3. Who's going to give me one example of this?
أخت شقيقة.
Okay. أخت شقيقة. Don't give me just two though.
جدة.
Excellent, excellent.
عم.
جدة. عم.
أخت لأب.
أخت لأب. What does the أخ شقيق get here?
Half.
She gets half due to the conditions being met. Jadda, what does she get here? What does the Jadd get here? Sudus.
No mother.
Don't get confused. If you ever see a Jadda, just Sudus. Obviously there has to be no mother. If you see a Jadda and there's no mother, give her a Sudus immediately. Right, the Am forget him.
Sudus.
Huh? Sudus. Why?
Because there's a أخت شقيقة and there's
There's
no
Ukht
brother.
Shaqiqa that inherits half. So there, her half and her sixth make up what?
2/3.
2/3. Is that understood? Yeah?
On the women's side, it's not going over the maximum of 2/3. Oh, because there's the grandmother. Because of the grandmother.
Like I said, sisters or daughters. Mother and grandmother are not included. But like, that's good. If I said women, no, but what I meant by women and sisters and brothers. Okay. 1 minute. We've only got, well, I want to finish now, okay? But 1 minute, right? Pay attention. Did we study what he gets? No. Did we study what he gets? No. Ibn, did we study what he gets? No. These people are the Mu'assibin. The Adam, the Mu'assib that we've been studying are these people here. And more. Even the father comes into it as well. Okay? These people, there's not a set amount for them. They get what is called Baqi, whatever is left. Okay? Example. Okay. Example. You should all know this by now. Ab, Ibn. The Ab, what does he get here? He gets a Sudus. Why? There's a child, there's an Ibn here. What does the mother get? Sudus. What does this Ibn get? Baqi. We don't give him a figure. We just say Baqi, Ba. He takes whatever is left. Is that understood? That goes for all of these individuals. Like there's a whole chapter called Al-Asabat. And we'll get there inshallah. Right now, you should have learned how many furud are there? 6. What are they? Nisf. There's nisf, there's half. There's what? Ruba, a quarter. Thumun, an eighth. Thuluthan. Thuluth. Sudus. These are mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. And all of those people that we mentioned now, they get one of these 6. Anyone else we didn't mention, they get what? They get asaba. They're asaba. They get whatever is left over. Is that understood? Okay. Khalas, inshallah, let's pack away because we've got about 4 or 5 minutes for the next class.